Sure, just don't treat me like a pack Brahmin, okay?
Fine by me.
I keep hearing about some courier making a fuss over at the strip. Must have delivered more than just mail. You looking to buy some supplies? Can do. Thanks. Take it easy.
How are you holding up? Don't look... How are you holding up? I don't see... Sure, I can... How are you holding up? You take...
Should have brought...
Okay.
I'll sit tight.
Aw, just... Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
Let's kick this in gear.
Should have brought something to...
All right. Give a yell if there's trouble. Halt! What business have you in Cottonwood Cove, outsider? You wear the mark of Caesar. You must be who Cursor Lucullus is waiting for. You may continue, but be warned. Mark or no, we will not tolerate aggressive action by visitors in the camp. A profligate bearing the mark of Caesar. What is the world coming to? Cursor Lucullus is waiting for you with the barge at the docks. He will take you to the fort to speak with Caesar. It is the armor of a centurion. You have the rare honor of beholding it unspattered by the blood of my inferiors. Of course I am, you fool. I am a centurion. When Vulpes and Kulta drove the NCR from Searchlight by clever means, Caesar himself ordered me to set up this camp and harass the profligates. It's a modest presence, a single finger of the Legion reaching across the river's narrows. But with me here, it has an iron knuckle. Cursor Lucullus is waiting for you at the docks. He'll take you to Caesar. As much as the profligates' cowardice will allow, they haven't found the balls to attack us here, but we catch them out on patrols. With 2 contubernia at my command, I've killed and captured 4 times my numbers. The killing of profligates should never go unrewarded. I'll pay you a small sum per tag. Go see ᴢᴍᴜᴅᴜ when you have tags, in that case. He watches over our stores. Wale.
You're the one Lucullus said would come. You'll find him waiting for you down at the docks. In trade for what? Very well. A Legion outpost, what's it look like? We crossed the river when the profligates fled from Searchlight. From here, we stage raiding parties and process captures. As much as their cowardice will allow, the profligates avoid open battle, but on good days, we find one of their patrols. Their landmines have caused us more trouble than their marksmanship, which is lacking. I'm an officer of the Legion of the rank Decanus. When we encamped, I commanded a contubernium of 8 legionaries. So I command what's left, under the wise leadership of Centurion Aurelius, of course. Are we done then? That would be worth knowing, especially if we can then rearm and reuse them. The light is a button that can interrupt detonation. We were too busy throwing ourselves to the ground to figure that out. To rearm the mine, we'd just press the button again. Simple. The profligates will regret that we learned that. What? I'll wait.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver? The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. This order also extends to the platinum chip you carry. For now. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave. So you're the visitor I've heard some of the legionaries talking about. If you're in the mood to trade, just say the word. Have a look. Give me a shout if you need anything else. Shoot. No, ma'am. I'm an independent trader from Arizona. Not at all. They're my best customers. As long as you don't try to sell them chems or alcohol, they treat you fair. Hell, I don't even need to travel with guards most of the time in Legion territory. All the bandits are dead or run off. Between having to hire protection and getting slapped with taxes, it's more profitable to stick to Arizona and New Mexico. But I do cross the river from time to time when an opportunity comes along. All right. I haven't had the pleasure. I have crossed paths with Legate Lanius, his second-in-command, however. It was unpleasant. He's the best the Legion has to offer, or so the legionaries say. Brute of a man, wears a fancy metal mask in a battle. He killed one of my pack Brahmins simply because it was in his way. I knew better than to complain about it, though. Be seeing you around.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
I'm harsh on the children, but they'll be excellent legionaries. I'm quite proud of them.
The new slave girls are quite beautiful.
A free woman. It's been a while since I've seen a woman who wasn't a slave. I forget myself. Are you injured? I never finished my training. The Legion saw to that when they overran my town. I do know basic first aid, but I've had to rely on tribal remedies to treat illnesses and injuries. Healing powders and all that. I'm always running low on xander root. Plenty of brock flowers, though. Oh, I've been using 2 roots per flower. Thanks to you, I'll be able to create twice as much healing powder per day. For sale? I'm a slave, not a merchant. I could give you some supplies every day, though. You are, after all, a friend of the Legion. What about it? Do you have some advice? Was there something... What do you want to know? A small town in New Mexico. The Legion burned it a few years back. That's how I ended up here. 3 years and counting. If I could just get across the river, I'd be free. Not that I'd try it. I've seen what happens when you get caught. We're property. If you're too young or too old, the men usually leave you alone. Usually. You ought to be careful yourself. I overheard some of the legionaries talking about trying you out. All right. The legate is not a man to be crossed, especially if you're a woman. That's all I'll talk about it. Okay.
The new slave girls are quite beautiful.
So I finally get to meet the courier who's accomplished so much in so little time. That's why I summoned you here, right? I mean, a man nearly kills you, and your response is to track him across the breadth of the Mojave? You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat? You assassinate the head of the chairman in his own casino and get away with it? Then something happens to Mr. House's robot, some kind of military upgrade? When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching. Oh, I'll give you the platinum chip, and then you'll use it exactly like I tell you to. I have eyes and ears everywhere. It behooves me not to invade the West blind and deaf. It hasn't been hard to track your progress. It's not as though you've been keeping a low profile. You should be listening. That's what you should be doing. Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip you were carrying. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried. I'm not asking you to do this, I'm telling you. Now take the platinum chip, go down to that bunker or whatever it is, and destroy whatever gizmo-happy Brahmin shit you find. Now get to it. Wale.
I suspect you'll be a valuable asset to the Legion. Assuming you're really on our side, of course. There's a gambler, Martina Grosbeck, who has a knack for learning other people's secrets and passing that information along for a price. The Omertas, who run Gomorrah, have become suspicious of Martina's frequent visits to their casino. Soon they'll pay her a visit of their own. Besides the gratitude of the Legion, don't worry. You'll be paid in coin or caps. Good. Martina frequents the Vault 21 gift shop on the Strip. Hurry along, and she still may be in one piece by the time you get there.
The new slave girls are quite beautiful.
It is a great honor for anyone outside the Legion to get an audience with Caesar. We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the part or the skill to fix it. The trader Dale Barton salvaged it from a military base in Arizona. Yuma, I believe. The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told. It's a tradition in the Praetorians to specialize in unarmed combat, because weapons can break or jam when needed most. However, our unarmed techniques favor offense over defense. We can charge the enemy and flatten him with our first strike before he can react. No, Legate Lanius is Caesar's second. The Legate replaced the Burned Man after the Legion's defeat at the dam several years ago. He's the best warrior in the Legion. A full legionary by the time he was 12, he's never lost a battle. Had the Legate been in command during the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Legion would have won. I have no doubt about that. I'll answer if I can. When I was a boy, the Legion conquered my tribe. I was chosen for training as a legionary. I fought in many battles for the Legion. Eventually, Caesar chose me to lead his Praetorian Guard. It was a great honor. Girls and women were enslaved, and many of the men and boys were also chosen to become legionaries. The rest were killed. We were savages. The Legion raised us up, made us better than what we were. What did you want to... Very well. The Burned Man was Caesar's advisor and general when the Legion was originally formed. The Burned Man led us to a disastrous defeat at the dam. On Caesar's orders, the Burned Man was covered in pitch by the Praetorian Guard, lit on fire, and cast into the Grand Canyon. Caesar has forbidden us from ever speaking his true name again. And so we simply refer to him as the Burned Man. Wally.
I'm looking forward to getting sent across the river.
What a load of Brahmin shit! Can you believe that guy? A fair point. But from the perspective of someone west of the Colorado, the man is clearly out of his mind. Maybe he didn't intend for things to wind up this way. But that doesn't mean he needs to perpetuate this bizarre anachronistic myth. And it doesn't mean that we should sit by and nod our heads at every absurd, faux Roman casus belli he can dream up. He's a tyrant, the bad kind, and there's no way we're letting him take Hoover Dam. Lead the way. Sure, just don't treat me like a pack Brahmin, okay?
I'm looking forward to getting sent across the river.
I'm looking forward to getting... Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again. Caesar has permitted you to leave, but not with the platinum chip in your possession. Relinquish it and you may go. As you wish.
Wait a second. What's going on? Am I playing Virgil to your Dante? I'd like to assume that we're tiptoeing into the mouth of hell out of academic curiosity, but I'm not so open-minded that I've lost my brains.
Short of canceling our imminent travel plans, that's the best thing we could have said. Just be careful. If we travel at Caesar's pleasure, he may not let us out as easily as he lets us in.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
Camps are getting crowded.
None may enter without Caesar's permission.
Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him. Caesar has put a lot of trust in you. Be worth it.
The camps are getting crowded.
Sure, just don't treat me like a pack Brahmin, okay?
I see you reached your destination safely. Shall we get to work? Goodbye? Is that some kind of joke? You barely understand what I want you to accomplish down there. It's a facility I built many years before you were born. You might think of it as a kind of barracks. You'll understand soon enough. Goodbye? That's rather obvious, isn't it? As you know, the Platinum chip upgrades my Securitron's operating software. Well, there's an army of them here. The Securitrons policing the Strip are a fraction of the total number manufactured. The rest I stored here. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at. I like to think you have enough sense to do the right thing. The rewards for doing so are immense, as are the punishments for not doing so.
Looks like break time's over.
Your work here is done. Return to the Lucky 30. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thanks to your actions today, so does the rest of mankind.
You've carried out Caesar's will. but I must confiscate your equipment again. You're free to leave. Awe. True to Caesar.
You must enter Caesar's tent alone. Anyone?
Okay.
The new slave girls are quite beautiful. I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done. Let's press on, shall we? As I was telling you before, I want Mr. House out of the picture. You have an interest in his death, too. If he knows that you destroyed his gadgets beneath the fort, he will strike back. You know where to find him. How he dies, I leave up to you. It's called an auto-doc. As the name suggests, it's an automated physician, more or less. He can treat broken bones, cuts, punctures, scrapes. Sometimes I bestow its use upon someone I favor. Makes for a powerful gift in a culture that forbids painkillers and is largely ignorant of medical science. What did you want to know? My Praetorians embody the martial ideals of my legion. Each one of them has done enough conquering and killing to deserve the rank of Centurion. Instead, I invited them to join my guard. So the invitee chooses whichever current guard he thinks is weakest and challenges him. The fight is to the death. It keeps them from getting complacent. Lucius has been the head of my guard for 5 years now. He was a subordinate guard for 8 before that. No invitee has dared to challenge him yet. Maybe it's an issue of respect. He is getting on in years. What else did you want to know? It's called an auto-doc. You can treat... makes for a... Complete your mission, then return to me.
Lead the way.
If there's one thing I won't tolerate, it's working with some dog of the Legion. You've got some explaining to do. If you want me to stick around, that ends now. I don't care what the reasons are. I will not help the Legion. Ever. Got it? All right. But we better not have to have this talk again.
Aw, does jumping at them with my fist? Yes!
Okay. Lead the way.
Let's roll out.